after getting sweet revenge over Central African Republic and slaying the wild beast in Douala, it is appropriate that we thank the Almighty for listening to our prayer and giving Nigeria victory over CAR. So we say thank God that we got that victory, and we hope that the Super Eagles would not relent and they will win their remaining 2 matches to ensure that they qualify for the final round of the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. And as a result of what happened over the weekend, talking about the World Cup qualifiers and the Nations League final, we can tell you that Rafael Varane of Manchester United is out injured. We watched that game yesterday. He got substituted, and in came Dayo Upamecano, and he was even guilty for the goal that Spain scored. So see what happens. And Thibaut Courtois is saying that UEFA, they don't care about the players. They are only concerned about money, and that's why they want to play a game that is as inconsequential as the third place match between Belgium and Italy. You'll also be looking at what's happening local on the local football scenes, and keeping you up to speed with everything that's happening in the world of football. Good evening, welcome to Balls of Fire. It is live on 92.7 KFM, Benin City. My name is Saliu Ibrahim, but they call me the Sports Ibracadabra because I bring magic to sports presentation and analysis. CJ the Maestro is right here, as well as Agosa Egbeka, the Sports Maestro. Together, we'll be looking at the latest happening in the world of football. Guys, I'm still basking in that euphoria, if you have to call a win over Central African Republic euphoric. But they came to Nigeria and beat the Super Eagles 1-0 in Lagos. So the Eagles had to respond. And assistant captain of the team, William Troost Ekong, I saw what he tweeted. He said that revenge is a dish best served with 3 points, and some people are saying, come on, we should not be talking about revenge against Central African Republic. Central African Republic should not be beating Nigeria in the first place, let alone we start talking about avenging that loss. But it is what it is. Sometimes strange things like that happen. Central Africa, Nigeria will not be the first big team that they've beaten. They went away and they beat Egypt. That was in 2012, but we were still shocked that they could come to Lagos of all places and beat the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But bottom line now, Nigeria top of Group C, 9 points from their 4 games. We thought it would be 12 points, but it is 9 points.
Yeah, but I think it's good that the fact that we are still on top of that Group C. I think that's something that we have to really celebrate. But then I think we don't have to do competition to come out from this group. Honestly, if the Eagles really wants to perform, super in any game that they go into, they should ensure that yes, we don't do. If we want to, even if we want to do competitions, it should be against bigger opponents and not smaller opponents. But then I think everyone has improved in football. Everyone wants to make a bold statement. Though we saw big teams beating their smaller opponents, in emphatic way, 6-0, 5-1 and all that. But I think we got it wrong in the first place. If not for that defeat at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, and if Nigeria had won that game and yesterday they won, I think the remaining matches could have been okay, formality, or let's get a point from the remaining 2 games and just call it a wrap. But now 2 points ahead of Cape Verde, and Cape Verde also they did what the Super Eagles could not do. They won home and away, but Super Eagles were able to get 3 points from the 2 games. So it's not going to be easy. Though we are still going to play Cape Verde, we understand that yes, haven't performed poorly in some games. All they need to do is to step up and ensure that they qualify without having any issues. So all the best to them, and we hope that they remain on top. Because it's only one team that will qualify to the final round. So if the Eagles don't remain on that top position, there's going to be a goodbye to the World Cup. So they know what they need to do, and I hope that they're going to do it. Especially the players that we're missing, we hope that they come back and also assist those that are right there playing right now. But then, even if they don't come back before the next qualifiers, with what we've got, we should be punishing Central African Republic, Liberia, and Cape Verde without having any headache.
Well, I like the fact that we beat them, which sends the right message that we're not a small team. It sends, of course, the right message that what will happen in Lagos was just a one-off. We knew it was a one-off. We know now, even before, that the players of the Super Eagles, well, they are not being coached to their full potentials. We hope that the team will get better. When you talk about qualifiers like that, what is important is that you have to win your matches. There are other things that you maybe talk about later, but getting your 3 points is important. Usually, you don't hear fans of other countries, or maybe for fans of maybe too many of them fans of Nigerian football talk about okay, we have to play like this, play like that, during qualifiers. It's just about the win. The NFF know that as a fact. They always tell you, go in there, get the win. No matter how you do that, just get the 3 points for us so we can qualify for major competitions. They know these sort of results. They help to bring in sponsors, because no sponsor wants to put his money in a team that don't win matches. The sponsors don't come in to tell you, oh, we like the way the Super Eagles they play their football. They will of course want to see the level of success with the national team. So hopefully next month we would of course have another round of the World Cup qualifiers in terms of another international window. I think we'll have to plan. Maybe we made a couple of mistakes going into this one. We'll have to plan better. First of all, our players will have to arrive early enough so that if the coach is picking his first 11, he has, of course, pick players that are good enough to start for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So, having said that, again, I hope maybe before the next international window, the NFF will also try and offset the money they are owing the head coach of the team, Kenneth Ross, so he can at least focus on the very important assignment. The World Cup is more important than the AFCON. Yes, we've qualified for the AFCON, no doubt about that, but we need to be in Qatar 2022. It's a special World Cup. It's a World Cup that is going to happen between November and December, and we want to go there to, of course, compete with the rest of the world.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out that it is not the NFF that will pay Kenneth Ross per se directly.
Yeah.
They've sorted this out. They had a company, ITO, coming in 2017. They signed that deal and they said for the next 5 years they will be the ones to pay the coaches of Nigeria. So the fact that Kenneth Ross has not received his salary, it's not that the NFF. So we're not holding brief for the NFF, but we need to make this very clear. It's not like the NFF has collected the money from the Nigerian government and they are refusing to pay him. The company that's supposed to pay, they said, look, we had some issues with COVID and the rest, but the money will be paid eventually. Okay, so it's not like they have the money, they are just refusing to pay him because they are Amadou Pinnick is wicked or something. No, that's not what is happening. Okay, so be rest assured. And as we've said, the fact that he's not getting salary doesn't mean that he's not getting allowances and some other things. So that's the situation with the Super Eagles, still top of the group, and we hope that by the time the next qualifiers will come about, Kenneth Ross will not be owed a single kobo. We don't want anybody to be owed at all. All right. There were some games today. There have been some games, and we're expecting more games later in the African qualifiers for the 2022 World Cup. Mozambique played against Cameroon, and Cameroon won this match 1-0 away from home. And later we'll have Cote d'Ivoire versus Malawi. These are the matches in Group D. In Group F, Gabon, they also played today. They beat Angola 2-0, while Libya will play against Egypt later. And it's looking really interesting in this group. Egypt have got 7 points, Libya on 6 points, and both of them have played 3 matches. Gabon have played 4 matches, they have 4 points. Angola have played 4 matches, they have 3 points. So if Libya can beat Egypt, they will go top of the table. They'll have 9 points, but I believe Egypt will win this, so Egypt will go to 10 points. But let's wait and see what happens. Then in the CONCACAF, we've had one match today. Mexico defeated Honduras 3-0, and also in CONMEBOL, Argentina beat Uruguay 3-0. Lionel Messi scoring his 80th goal, becoming the only South American player with 80 goals. Then Chile, they defeated Paraguay 2-0. Okay, so that's what's happening in the CONMEBOL region. Then in UEFA, we've got some matches lined up for today. In Group E, Belarus will play against the Czech Republic. Estonia will take on Wales. Then in Group G, Latvia versus Turkey. The Netherlands taking on Gibraltar, and Norway will play against Montenegro. And then in Group H, Cyprus versus Malta, Croatia taking on Slovakia, and Slovenia versus Russia. In Group J, Iceland versus Liechtenstein, North Macedonia taking on Germany, Romania versus Armenia. That's what we have. And then in Africa, it's going to be in Group A, Burkina Faso will play against Djibouti. Okay, so these are the matches that we have, the matches that have been played today, and the matches that we are expecting in the build up to the World Cup. That's the qualification process for the World Cup. All right, guys, let's go on this break. We'll be right back.
We've had many battles, we have won some wars, but in all our struggles, we have lost loved ones. It may be cloudy outside, but not for very long. We will surely see the sun, 'cause we know no matter the weather, no matter the tide, we go there together. We stand by your side. No yawa, no problem. Go fit stand to fight us. We go stand together. We go beat them down.
Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keep cavities out!
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Omo, the way when my customers they take they enjoy this Checkers custard and hey, since I open shop today now, so Checkers custard and just they ask me,
Madam, sama me one big container of that your Checkers custard, because the way my pikin them they lick plates every time I give them, it they totori me for body.
Yeah, mommy don't buy Checkers custard again. CHECKERS Checkers custard.
Checkers custard, oga we no get rival.
Checkers custard. Now this one be custard.
Milo!
Hello, give me Milo please. 2 sachets.
Okay, oh. Are you sure you don't want to try something else?
This something else, does it have Active Go?
Active K.
Active Go, that mix of Protobalt, minerals and vitamins.
Proto what?
Look, it's okay. Just give me my Milo, because things that I buy for my kids, I don't compromise one bit.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go, with the goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
All right, welcome back to Balls of Fire live on 90.7 KFM Benin City with me, Sally Ibrahim, the Sports Abracadabra, also Ibeka, the Sports Maestro, and CJ the Maestro. Okay, let's go back to the Euro Nations League. We saw the grand finale yesterday. France coming from behind to beat Spain 2-1. Karim Benzema with an absolute gem of a goal. And Kylian Mbappe, who did not have a particularly great game, but you understand why the coach, Didier Deschamps, left him. Didier Deschamps himself used to be a player, fantastic midfielder, won the World Cup with France in 1998, was the captain, won the Euros in the year 2000. He was the captain of that team, and when you realize the kind of stars that they had in that French team, for Didier Deschamps to be their captain, tells you how great he is. They had arguably the best. Well, Roberto Carlos was there, but you would say Vicente Lizarazu was one of the best left backs of his generation. They had Marcel Desailly, the Ghanaian, who, according to Dr. Larry Zamuje, was born to Ghana for France. Yeah, he was there. They got Patrick Vieira, Arsenal captain. Every player there was legendary. They've got Thierry Henry, the Igwe himself, and of course they've got Zinedine Zidane, who was the best player of that competition. But in spite of all these greats that we had in the French team, it was Didier Deschamps that was the captain, and they absolutely dominated. They even won the 2003 FIFA Confederation Cup, but of course we know they were unable to win the 2002 FIFA World Cup. So France winning the Euro Nations League, beating Spain 2-1 in the final. But in the third place match, we saw Belgium, who have been world number one for such a long time. They took on Italy, the European champions. But before the game, we had that Eden Hazard and Romelu Lukaku will not be playing because they had muscle injury. And Thibaut Courtois, the goalkeeper of Belgium, was critical of that third place match. He said there was absolutely no need to play it. And after the game, he has not kept quiet. He's been talking and he's not happy. He mentioned the injuries to Lukaku and Hazard, and he said it's because footballers are playing too many matches, and that UEFA in particular just does not care about the welfare of the players. They just want money. He said, look, because it is Italy that we're playing in the third place match, that's an absolutely an important match, and they want to play that. And he also knows that the Italians will want to play against Belgium. Yeah, so the match itself is fantastic, but that UEFA did not need that match. There was no need to play that game, but UEFA just wants to make more money, and that's why they insisted on having a third place match.
Well, partly he may be correct, but then truth is this: the moment you get to the semi-final stage of the UEFA Nations League, you play the same number of matches as the teams that got to the final. So I don't know if his team got to the final.
But they don't play that in the
I understand.
Euro,
but in the World
itself.
Cup, it does
in the World Cup they play the third place match.
Absolutely. So I'm wondering where he's coming from. Look, I'm a fan of reducing the number of matches on the international level that players are involved in. They're human. They play a lot of matches at the club level. On the average, we know players play up to 50, 55, 60 matches a season. You know, that's like at the club level. When you add the international matches, it's too much for them. I understand we've got to talk about, have that conversation of reducing it. But then when you look at the UEFA Nations League, it's been on board since 2019, if I'm correct. And nobody complained then about having a third place match. Now it's getting to Belgium turn, but some players somehow
no, because you didn't hear doesn't mean that people did not complain before about
well, I'm saying he did not complain about it, since then. This is like the third year since that tournament came on board. I'm trying to understand where he is coming from. I understand it's about the number of matches, him being angry that we shouldn't be playing the third place match. But
yeah, after you've played so many matches before you get to this stage. You remember that you first, the competition itself, you play in different leagues. You get some teams will get promoted to the next level, and so it feels, look, we've played so many matches, we are playing for our clubs, and then you are playing this, and then there are World Cup qualifiers, and they will still have to play their World Cup qualifiers. And he's complaining also that the next World Cup is going to be in November, December, and before you know it, they have to still play. So the whole thing is just footballers are playing too many matches.
Yeah, they are.
Even if they are looking for money, if talking about UEFA, they should consider the heads of the players. Yes, in any competition, you want to see the best from the players. But what if they are not giving their best? Then you now say they are not trying to, live up to expectation. It doesn't work that way. They are not machines. They are humans. So sometimes when you organize competitions, look at the number of games they are going to play in their domestic leagues. Look at cup matches and all that. Then talking about international matches. So they should look for a way to see how they can put things right. But if we were to be the final, I don't think Thibaut Courtois would have complained just because they find themselves playing.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's talking about the third. He didn't complain about the final. He's saying, look, this match is not important. There's no need to play this match. But just because they want to make money, that's why they are doing it. Okay, like look at what's happening now with the World Cup. We hear that there are proposals, very strong proposals, to make the World Cup every 2 years. And that will mean that these guys are playing more matches. Yeah. And that's what he's saying now, that look, it's like they want the European Championship, and it's like every year there will be a European Championship, and every year there will be either you have a European Championship or the World Cup. Because if you have the World Cup this year, then next year you have the European Nations League. Yeah, then you have the Nations League, then you have this. So it's like every time you will always have a match being played.
Well, I understand his points. That's why I said I think it's not just about him. Maybe other players will have to come in, and then the Players Union as well will have a serious talk with FIFA, not just UEFA. Reduce the number of matches that players go through on the international scene. It's important to qualify for the World Cup, play qualifiers. You imagine Belgium going through the Nations League, and after that you tell them that you have to also play the World Cup qualifiers. It's maybe too much, for them. But then it's a conversation that will continue, because the players, they need to rest. A player sometimes even gets a rest of 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the season, gets to start with pre-season. After that, then you have the season for 9 months, sometimes 10 months, and then sometimes it even could be more than that when you add the number of international matches that they play. So let's see, because the truth is, without the stakeholders are the footballers. The stakeholders are not the UEFA president. It's not the UEFA vice president. It's not the FIFA president. Without the footballers, there will be no sponsor. There would, of course, be no competition. If they all decide to pull out from the competition, I don't think it will make any sense. Imagine where you have a World Cup, for instance, without players from Argentina, without players from Brazil, without players from top European nations. I don't think the World Cup would be complete. So it has to be a continuous conversation. So someone has got to listen to the voice of reasoning.
I'm talking about injuries. Well, we hear that we saw that he got injured yesterday, Rafael Varane of Manchester United.
Unfortunate. It was an unfortunate news. We don't know the extent of his injury, but he was replaced by Dayot Upamecano. Of course, we know how this guy is not at the level of Varane. That's why he sits on the bench. Why Varane gets to play. It's a big headache for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United, because Varane is more like arguably the best defender at Manchester United. I'm sure some fans of the club want to disagree. They may say it's Harry Maguire, but I'll pick Rafael Varane.
Is Harry Maguire not even injured?
He's also injured as well. He's also injured too. So it's a double headache for him.
They are playing Leicester City at the weekend.
Yeah, it's double headache for Ole. But there's Eric Bailly. There's also
Lindelof.
Victor Lindelof. But I don't know. These guys are not usually reliable.
The reliable defenders, these are the ones with the injuries. Although Ole will have a whole lot to do, honestly, for him to be able to stop the attacking threat of the Foxes. We've got Jamie Vardy, Kelechi. I don't know if he's going to start, but with the kind of form these guys are, if they should face that Manchester United defense on Saturday, only God knows how they are going to, to
Leicester City themselves are not in.
But sometimes
you have to take advantage. Your best. You need your best defenders against Vardy. Vardy will run at you. Kelechi and we know how he can score even with the defender in front of him. So you need your best centre back to defend against these lads. We know on the good day Leicester will take it to the cleaners. They're as good as scoring 5 goals on the good day. We've seen that against Man City. We've seen that against some of the best teams in the Premier League like Liverpool. So you need good players against a Leicester City team, especially when they are motivated.
Before we start taking your calls, let's talk grassroots football and give you what is going on. So we've got the maiden edition of the Phyllis Okugbe Memorial Football Tournament for under 13 boys in Edo State. So Dynamo Sports, they defeated Jarvis FC 6-1. This was in the quarter final. And then today we'll have Flames FC. They will be taking on Ida Sports. That match is on now. It's supposed to start at 4 p.m. Raleigh FC versus Sparking Football Academy. While and this match is going to be at Emota College Sports Ground. We also hear that the tournament is going to take a break after today. That's from tomorrow. It's going to take a break because of the Governor Cup tournament, which begins tomorrow at Eho, and this one is organized by Youth. So the maiden edition of the Felix Okugbe Memorial Football Tournament is organized by the Federation of Youth Soccer Club, FESOC. Okay, so that's what's happening with grassroots football in Edo State. And of course, Felix Okugbe, somebody who mentored many of us that are in the business of sports journalism today. Sadly, we lost him some years back, and some of our professional colleagues have decided that, look, it will be nice to immortalize him, because this is something that he would have wanted. This is something that he would have done. He used to have a football academy in Lagos. I recall watching him on Mundial Sports International then, and he will go to Europe, fame the very elite football academies like La Masia and the one at Ajax, and then he will come down to Nigeria and film his own young lads and say, look, from the elite, from the height of what you have in Europe to what we are doing locally over here. Felix Okugbe, someone that we really miss. We miss his guidance, we miss his expertise when it comes to sports in Nigeria and also in Edo State. All right, guys, time for you to join us on the show. Call us on 070-6263-9275 or 090-3939-4427. You can also call us on 081-21-789154. Hello.
Good evening.
Danjuma, welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Danjuma.
Good evening.
Good evening, welcome.
Because my friend did that too much. I went to my family overtake me. Yeah, I think I have this opportunity to take it to my family every person in that chapter. With great goodness. So, when you look at the two years ago, France and France and Spain, you know, very good man, because of the same need of the team, only the co-organizer tournament, what are the same members so that they call the great tournament that it is. But for those of them going, that goes into, you know, see that they lack one thing, and the players, you know, see that they lack, and the coach. Those budget thing, they don't let it take away every tournament to the team, because if you look that thing, they're very full of stuff. But they don't see the thing anything, and they don't want number one. I believe if no FIFA want to work on that, they're not going to do what number one.
The next FIFA World Ranking?
Yes, I think they're not doing number one, because that thing, the great thing to me, and go to the tackle with the over two. And the World Cup, and the other people with the team with the community.
All right, we'll wait and see what's going to happen there. But I think there will still be world number one. Who is going to overtake them? When you look at France, where is France? Well, you look at France. You look at I've said Brazil, but Brazil dropped points during the CONMEBOL qualifiers. Hello.
Hello, Gadron.
Yeah, Madrid don't come. Welcome.
Yes. This is
Good evening, welcome.
That's right.
Yep.
I know today is not for sports, but I want to begin by asking where will our new big boy go from here? I'm talking about where will we go from here?
Deontay Wilder. Well, he said he has learned his lessons. He knew the mistakes that he made. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he will still be in contention. But for now, I know his next fight will not be a title fight. He's got to work his way back up. Okay, but you know, for Anthony Joshua, he lost, but he has a rematch clause. So if he wins that, fine. But if he fails to win the rematch, then it's going to be a problem. So from what's going to happen now, what's this guy's name? Dillian White is the mandatory challenger for Tyson Fury, but Dillian White will have to beat Otto Wallin. So if he is able to win that fight, then he will have a crack at Tyson Fury. So I think for Deontay Wilder, he will have to try and win one of the belts that now currently this guy has, Alexander Usyk, to come back into contention.
If our boy beats you in the match, which I'm praying for that happens, I think I have the best to go back to him now.
Yeah, you mean Anthony Joshua?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. If he wins, he gets all his belts. Of course.
Well, that boy will not have a place.
That's why I'm saying he will have to fight his way up again. He has to start from.
He should go arrest. He has tried. I don't think he's a tactical and technical skill yesterday. It was where the boys resolved to be. The boys decided to fight. That's what I think.
But when they lost, we all blame the coach. Now that they won, we are saying it's the boys. So why didn't the boys just decide to?
The coach, you know, you don't have a defensive midfielder. I like a coach who believes in the league. God has the soul of great legend, Stephen Keshi. He picked boys from this league and they went to the nations of conquer Africa. He doesn't believe in the league. So when there is no injury, there is no local table. Everything is done like that. They're struggling. When we even just take here, we can get a good defensive midfielder in this district. But he doesn't believe in that. And then we are not believing in our league. Believing that we are doing well. In 5 years, we can only boast of, I don't want to say, one irresponsible players. And a disappointing outing in the World Cup. So we can boast of. And then they are clapping. We feel we are going to the promised land. Until we go to next Nations Cup, I will be dumped out. Because this thing that I am seeing now, unless there is an improvement, cannot win the Nations Cup next year. I think that is where we are hanging on.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madhu Danko. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
My program my name is George.
George, okay, welcome. Where they call from?
I the job now, so currently now doing this supplement, the shorting. It's very clear some of my guys already have the year, so they want them to qualify for us. Nigerian league, they get to do return. They pay them, make it the only league at all, all contract for the world. So that is going to get that is for footballers. Where they play for country, when they retire, they say they pay them.
I beg you feel ask the question again, make I not get them well.
Okay, if person retire from national team, you know me?
Yes.
If person retire from national team, they still dey play, the country still dey play.
No.
Okay. What is your club side?
No. But they get something. Each club should do their welfare or cooperative or something. You know, when if the player fall into hard times, they feel help them. They set up something like a foundation or a fund or trust. Yeah.
Okay, now the culture now they tell you 1.9. Not concern the concern of video again.
No, they're not they pay them. They're not they pay them. But some people they claim say that they pay some countries. I don't hear John Fashanu talk something like that, but many people don't debunk and say it's not true. Say that they pay them.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to talk. I beg. We do that now. Always talk about this Nigerian coach. I know the few nations coach for us. Because people about the guy that wins the total like that, they are people that don't forget what it happened for when they take pictures 1-0. Now they talk all the time so that they go here because people are not know the country at all get to that map. Even a Nigerian coach, they are not, they don't soccer. So if you make us qualify, let me say that we must carry the nations cup. How many countries when Catholics, when they start, as well, when you tell them to go for them, Good evening, Gabriel.
Dan Chelsea.
Yeah. CJ the Maestro and Ford Maestro. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, welcome.
It's a good one for Super Eagles yesterday. I mean, even I told my friend, I said, that man won Super Eagles lost. I said, they have a very bad day. They're going to win their match away from home. And I can see yesterday that they win their match. I mean, we are top of the group now. Even as we love the match, we are still top of the group. I mean, 9 points is still good. And also, although I heard you talking of Syria and the weather, you know, today on Monday, I don't want to contribute.
Is it now? Did this thing with human being be that?